right. So I've had a couple of questions and comments on the wiring video I did a year or two ago, the harness video. So I thought I would just start to answer some questions through video just as I get them or as I go through them. So I want to talk about the horn a little bit. The question was, does the wire that comes with the Walks harness have any terminations on it? And it doesn't, it's just a wire. And I think the one they sent me is for the new style. This is a 47, and it actually has the older style setup in it. And so I want to talk a little bit about how the horn works and just hopefully help you guys. You know, I was a little bit fortunate that my horn setup was intact, and really I just had to do some cleanup as far as the contacts go. And then I'll show you out in the engine bay what that looks like as well. But you can buy this whole horn wiring kit, which comes with this button, and this acts just like a light switch in your house. So if you think about going into a room, you flip the switch on. That's ultimately what you're doing when you do this. You're actually closing a ground circuit right here when this top brass piece touches this bottom brass piece. So this spring actually holds up tension, and then you know, the horn nut and button just set right on top of that. And that's, so when you press the button, it's closing the circuit just like you do when you flip a light switch on. And so the circuit is open, it's powered the whole time, it's got power, and then literally when you press it, that's what closes the circuit and then energizes the horn. I will say that it's super important to, anytime you're dealing with electrical circuits, you know, corrosion and rust are not your friend. So I go in here with a wire brush or this style and just make sure this is clean from time to time, especially like if we leave our Jeeps out, or, you know, they get rained on or whatever. This thing is susceptible to rust and corrosion. And 9 times out of 10, when you have a horn problem, it's here, because this thing is open to the elements. You know, this is just a nut with a button in it, and this is the original one. I also like to clean up this surface too. Drop that. I like to clean up that surface too, just because it makes ground here and you know, helps with the button. So clean this up. And I like to spray a little bit of this, the same stuff I put on my battery top. It's just corrosive preventer. You can use white lithium grease too, but just put a little bit on a rag. You don't have to come in here and spray it because it makes a big mess, but put a little bit on a rag and maybe a Q-tip, or just use your finger and just lightly coat this. And that'll give it a better chance of, you know, of lasting and not react to rain and everything else we put our Jeeps through. So anyway, that's, you know, this is intact, but just know that you can pull the wheel and there's a whole insert that basically goes in here that consists of this springed mechanism, and then there's a wire that fed down this inside of this tube. And then we go, let me grab my light. Then we go out into the engine bay. Sorry, let me kill the music here. So let me try to get you in there. Here is where the brush sits, but I wanted to show you this brass ring is basically clamped on to the steering tube, and you can barely see that piece of solder. There's a wire soldered to that brass collar, and that wire runs up to that spring-loaded horn button. And then this outer tube clamps onto that. So again, we're just carrying the ground down to here. And then this set of brushes, which I will try to get into the shot too. Hang on. Sorry for the wobbly video. The set of brushes. This is the brush piece, and you can buy this piece too. But this brush piece has a contact right there. It's brass and spring loaded, and it rides. It screws in here, and it rides and touches that brass collar, and it's spring loaded. Again, its purpose is to carry the grounding circuit and you know, complete the circuit, basically is what it is. And I like to try to clean that as much as I can as well. because, you know, it's got to be pretty clean in order for this to make contact. So for mine, I cheated a little bit, and I'm using a 6-volt relay because I still have the 6-volt system set up. There's a regulator in the battery. So for mine, I'll try to walk you through this circuit. Get my light off here. So again, we have from the horn button up where you touch the horn, there's a wire that comes down, attaches, solders to the brass collar. The brush, this set of brushes, right, this single brush, screws into there, and it has a wire from the Willys harness. You can see this single wire that attaches to it, okay? Blue wire. That blue wire is the same wire that comes through this harness, and in my case, I bring it to a relay, okay? And it attaches to one side of the relay. The other part of the relay is a hot wire. This is bringing power voltage to 6 volts to this regulator. And then I have a wire that goes, single wire that goes to the horn. And I know I've got the horn mounted funky here. But that's how it works. So this whole circuit is energized, right? And all it's doing is waiting for, right, a signal here, right? And this is literally the switch that closes the circuit. So everything's hot and ready to rock and roll until you press that. And when you press that, closes the circuit, pushes juice, and throws this relay and operates the horn. So I know that was a quick, really quick down and dirty. Again, this is the older style. I think, I don't know what year, this is a 47, but I think in 48 maybe or 49, they started running the wire all the way down through the bottom of the steering box, right? The Ross steering box right there. But mine is an older style and has the wire running down, soldered to that brass collar, and then a set of brushes. And that's how the military Jeeps are. A set of brushes, they ride on it. And then again, I go to a 6-volt. You can find these on eBay. This is a new old stock, just 6-volt relay for any 6-volt automotive system. They usually last a while, especially if they're new old stock. But anyway, that's it. And let me know if you have any questions. If this video is not good, I'm sure I'll hear about it. But again, I'm not a video guy. I'm just trying to bring. And look, there's a lot of other guys that have, you know, full breakdowns of, you know, ripping this whole apart. Like I think G503 has a good video, and you know, he's got the whole tube off and shows you how to loosen it here and the collar down here. You know, and how this whole thing is installed separately. But since mine was there, I didn't want to break it apart. But remember to clean this up, man. This is 9 times out of 10, if you have wiring in place and a good battery and good grounds, this is where your problem is with the horn. So let me know if you have any questions. I may do one on turn signals. It seems to be, this is an old Signal Stat 900, and it has you know, a flasher system and left and right. Fully works. I did all that myself and used the Willys harness and tied into it. So I may do a video of that too, because turn signals seem to be a hot question as well. I know everybody wants to hear like how I terminated everything with the Willys harness, so that's a little bit more involved. But I may take the time to do it just because I feel like helping you guys out some more. So anyway, let me know what you think.